For so many entrepreneurs, there's this invisible wall. It holds them back. And it's not the market, it's not the competition. It's something much, much closer to home. So today, we're going to dive into how the very architecture of your own mind is creating the business and the life that you experience every single day. Have you ever felt like you're just pushing a giant boulder uphill? You know exactly what I'm talking about. You're putting in all the hours, you're grinding away, but your revenue has totally flatlined, and that to-do list, it just keeps getting longer. It's that exhausting, super frustrating feeling of being completely and utterly stuck. And listen, this isn't just a slump, it's a pattern, and it leads straight to burnout. The crazy part is, it's rooted in a place most of us never even think to look. Okay, so let's get into it. Section 1, the mirror in your mind. The core idea here is something we can call the mirror principle. I want you to just think of your life as a perfect, unflinching mirror. Seriously. It doesn't lie, it doesn't play favorites, it just reflects back the reality of your internal world, your thoughts, your beliefs, even your fears. So let's pull back the curtain and look at the actual mechanics behind how this whole mirror thing really works. Now look, this isn't just some philosophical woo-woo concept. It's actually grounded in hard neuroscience. Deep inside your brainstem, you have this bundle of nerves called the reticular activating system, or just the RAS. Its job is to filter the millions of bits of information hitting your senses every single second and only let in what's important. And how does it know what's important? Well, you tell it. This is exactly why you might be missing huge opportunities that are right in front of your face. Your brain has literally been programmed not to see them. Yeah, a really good way to think about your RAS is it's like the personal bouncer for your brain. It's the guy standing at the velvet rope of your attention, deciding what gets in and what stays out. And the instructions you give this bouncer? Well, those are the goals you set, the fears you keep thinking about, the beliefs you hold on to. That's the list you hand to the guy at the door. And this is exactly how it plays out in real life. You've totally experienced this before, right? Let's say you decide you want a white Tesla. All of a sudden, you see them everywhere, on every corner. Now, were there more Teslas on the road? No, of course not. The cars were always there. Your brain was just given a new instruction. Hey, notice these. Now, apply that exact same logic to your business. If your dominant belief is it's impossible to find good employees, guess what your bouncer's going to let in? Every lazy applicant, every negative news story, it's going to find all the evidence to prove you right, and it'll make you completely blind to the amazing, talented people who might be right under your nose. So that brings us to section 2, victim or warrior. See, every single challenge you face as an entrepreneur presents you with a fundamental choice. You can operate from one of two mental operating systems. You can be the victim, or you can be the warrior. And that choice, when you make it over and over again, day after day, well, that's what determines your entire destiny. And this is it. This is the core philosophy, the fundamental difference right here. The victim mindset says, life happens to me. It's this belief that you're just at the mercy of whatever the world throws at you. But the warrior mindset, that's completely different. It says, life happens for me. It's a mindset of radical ownership, this belief that everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, it's all happening for you as an opportunity to learn, to adapt, and to get stronger. And check out how this breaks down day to day. It's fascinating. Just look at the response to failure. The victim, they blame external stuff, they complain. The warrior, they take total ownership and they ask, okay, what's the lesson here? Same thing with focus. The victim sees problems, obstacles, everything that's missing. The warrior is focused on solutions, opportunities, and the resources they do have. But for me, the most telling difference is the language they use. I can't because that's a total dead end. But how can I? Well, that's a launch pad to a whole new world of possibilities. All right, section 3, rewiring your operating system. So knowing the difference between these two mindsets is one thing, right? But how do you actually do it? How do you uninstall that victim OS and install the warrior OS? Well, it's not magic. It takes discipline, and it takes using practical, consistent tools that are designed to literally reprogram your subconscious mind. Visualization is one of the most powerful tools you have. And no, I'm not talking about just daydreaming. This is focused mental rehearsal. Get this. This study from the Cleveland Clinic is just incredible. They had people who simply visualized exercising a muscle and its strength increased by 35% without them ever physically moving it. That's because your brain literally doesn't know the difference between something you vividly imagine and something that's actually happening. Now just imagine applying that same power to rehearsing a perfect sales pitch or what it feels like to hit a massive revenue goal.
Let's talk about affirmations, because they get a really bad rap. And honestly, it's because most people do them all wrong. If your bank account is overdrawn and you stand in the mirror saying, I am a millionaire, your brain just goes, nope, that's a lie, and it rejects it completely. The key is to make it believable. You have to frame it as a process. So instead of a blatant lie, you say something like, I am building the skills and habits required to attract massive wealth. See the difference? Your brain can totally accept that. You're stating your intention to grow, and that bypasses your inner cynic and gives your RAS a new, powerful, and believable command.
Okay, section 4, mindset and action. Let's see how all this stuff actually plays out in the real world. Your inner world and your outer world, they're locked in this constant feedback loop. And that loop can either spiral you up, up, up towards success, or it can drag you down into failure. Let's look at the downward spiral. It's so easy to get caught in this. It starts with a simple belief. I'm terrible at sales. Okay, that belief then triggers a thought. This call is going to go badly. That thought creates a feeling. Anxiety, maybe even dread. That feeling then drives your action on the call. You sound hesitant. You rush your pitch. And what's the result? The prospect says no. And what does that do? It reinforces the original belief. See? I knew it. I told you I was terrible at sales. Your outer world just handed you a piece of proof that your inner belief was right all along. It's a vicious cycle. So how in the world do you break that loop? You have to reframe the meaning of the result. What if failure wasn't the end? What if failure was actually a requirement for success? Let's talk about someone like Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx. Her entire billion-dollar empire was built on a radical reframe of that one simple concept, failure. I love this story. It's so powerful. When she was growing up, her dad would literally ask her at the dinner table every single week, so what did you fail at this week? And get this, if she didn't have anything to report, he'd be disappointed. Can you imagine? This completely rewired her brain. For her, failure wasn't a bad thing. It was evidence that she was trying, that she was out there putting herself on the line. So later, when she was pitching Spanx and got rejected hundreds and hundreds of times, it didn't even faze her. Her belief system made her emotionally bulletproof. It allowed her to take relentless action until she finally got that one yes that changed everything. And the result of that internal programming? The outer reality that it created? An empire, valued at $1.2 billion. Think about that. Her company wasn't built on a huge pile of cash. It was built on a mindset that was intentionally, from childhood, wired to see failure as fuel for the fire. So here's the bottom line, the most crucial point of all of this. You can have the best product. You can have the smartest business plan on the planet. But your success will never outgrow your own self-image. It just won't happen. The real work, the most important work of being an entrepreneur, isn't hustling for the next client out there. The real work is always, always in here. Because ultimately, you are in a constant conversation with your reality. And your life, it really is a mirror. It reflects back to you, with perfect accuracy, whatever you hold inside. So the only question that really matters is, what are you going to choose to show it?